Hello and welcome to another episode in my Mortal World series. In this episode we're going to be having a look at issue 8. Now before we get started, please make sure that you have subscribed, you click the bell icon so you get the notifications whenever I upload more videos like this. Also check out the links in the description below for fantastic groups, the Chillin Network website as well, full of amazing free content, and there are links down below and in the comments to help support the channel in any way you can. So with that done, without further ado, let's get to looking at this issue. Now I like this, I really do. The simplicity of the build, yet the detail is absolutely amazing. I mean, the bases are chock full of character, and I mean, look at the detail on the front of that. Let's bring the light round. Here we go. Look at the detail on the front of that. It's absolutely amazing. There we go. So to get it for $7.99, that's a bargain. So let's put that to one side, and we will, before I forget, you also get Celestar Blue, a base paint. So it's even more of a great value issue. Do the build and painting in another video. Let's have a look at what's in here. So Celestar Ballistas, painting with Celestar Blue and charging playthrough. Cool. Right, so let's have a look. This has fallen apart. Some of the issues do that, but don't worry, because once I get the folder I can put it away nicely. So we got our index here, and we also got a little intro from the editor, but we'll put that to one side because we have this page here, Stormcast Eternals. So this is E Warriors 13. That is always for your sectioning parts, so you know, violet as it's labeled. And this goes into what Celestar Ballistas are all about. So initially they were built to defend fortifications in the realm of Azir, to keep chaos out, and to fortify and make it look cool. But they made it mobile, so it was light enough to move around the battlefield if needed, and to go to other battlefields. So that's really cool. They also have great range, and let's see. Celestar Ballistas cover the walls of every Stormkeep. They are potent artillery weapons with great range, a rapid rate of fire, and the ability to cut down dozens of enemies before they ever reach the walls or defenses of the Stormcast Eternals. So they look great, they sound great. Here it is. They were designed to defend the anvil of apotheosis from attack to begin with, and installed by the greatest engineers of the Ordinatus Conclave. But yeah, I mean, they just was just so great that they were like, hey, let's just keep them everywhere. So we'll move on to the next bit, the Sacristan Engineers. So we have our loader over here. Of course, they load all the bolts and stuff, and you've got a spotter, so they're kind of like a range finder. They work out the range and the accuracy of what the ballista, so you know, you get a good shot essentially. They got awesome tools here as well, so you got lots of little bits and pieces all dotted all over the miniatures, and as you saw on the sprue, there's so much that we'll get to paint later on. And then there's a little bit on the Ordinatus Conclave, who specialize in the machinery of war. They're responsible for creating, operating, and repairing all of the Storm Host's war machines, from portable artillery pieces to grand siege weapons and lightning charged battle engines. What can I say? Can't say anymore. You will notice this sign here, this symbol, is what they'll wear on their left pauldron to indicate that they are from this conclave. Moving on, we learn a bit about the realm of Shyish. So Shyish may be the realm of death, but it is home to many mortals. Life in Shyish can be harsh and cruel, but there are those that thrive even in the unforgiving midst of Nagash's realm. So it goes into detail how they had a real tough time when it got overrun by the forces of chaos and the demons and everything, and they kind of had to go into hiding where they could, but they fought as much as they could until Nagash died. But it says over here there's still several strongholds of civilization in Shyish. The cities of Lethis and Glimsforge still stand strong as bastions of order despite the efforts of the ever-advancing armies of death. So mortals still trade, prosper and thrive throughout the realm, attempting to live their lives even as the darkness gathers around them. So it's a pretty grim place to live. But I love this bit of art here as well. And in Shyish, the line between life and death is thin. Redran Morn of Shyish. I mean, that's just an amazing mask. And then of course we've got another little snippet from the musings of the realm on the realms, a guide for the curious by Tarlok Malthar. So I think I'll get to 10 issues before I do like a little video on these, because I think they're pretty cool. And it goes on to describing the people of Shyish. So you got that as well, and then cosmology. So it goes over a rough a rough idea of what the realm looks like, but we've covered this in a previous video, so I'll put the link up here with the larger pull out section with all the maps on it. The realms besieged. So the haunting streets of Glimsforge, the night haunt prowl. In their way stand the hammers of Sigmar, who will yield for no foe. So this is a nice little story here. Again, won't spoil the stories because there's no point in you guys reading it then, is there? But it is a nice little one. And then we go on to a bit more about Glimsforge again. So it was one of the first cities to come under attack from Nagash's Nighthaunt armies. The city is defended by the anvils of Heldenhammer and the hammers of Sigmar, who both suffered losses during the attack. The city has many networks of tombs, catacombs, and temples. When the Nighthaunt attack came, these spirits burst up within the city walls and nearly overwhelmed the defenders, but they were beaten back. Can you imagine the enemy coming in from within the city rather than without, and you got all of your defenses facing outwards? So a pretty tough fight they must have had. Then we go over our build section. So again, we'll cover this in another video, but it's all push fit stuff, so it's quite quick and easy to put together. Some conversion possibilities, but I mean, you only want to do that if you end up getting multiple of these. Then we go on to how to paint. So this is so far the most we've had to paint all in one go. So we'll be using the Retributor Armor, the Corax White, Ryclone Flesh Shade, Stormhost Silver and the Kantar Blue. And we'll be painting everything that we've got so far. So go through the arduous task of that. Though, as I always say, if you can use the rattle can, do so, and then paint over that just to make things quicker and easier for yourselves. I might actually go over doing things in sub-assembly, so that'll be like a new way of painting things and making it easier for yourself. And of course, you've got your other stages here. Boom, boom, boom. And they look pretty decent so far. So yeah, those areas that I've told you in previous videos not to shade and you know, dry brush, because they're coming up in other colors, it will make it a lot easier for you to paint these other colors on. So again, I'll put a little link up here so you can see what videos I'm on about. And then we go on to unleash the artillery. So this playthrough introduces charging into combat and follows the examples that they lay out. So you'll have your glaive ray stalkers and you'll have your Celestar Ballista, but you'll be firing a war machine, which is also new and exciting. And yeah, you get to learn how to charge. So you'll have to be very lucky, because it looks like it's got chained lightning as an ability. If you, wow. To roll your attack, it makes one ranged attack. To roll your attack, the ballista hits on a roll of a 3. Chain lightning, a successful hit then inflicts d6 on the target instead of 1. Roll a d6 and then pick up that number. So you could wipe them out in one go because they only have 1 wound each. Damn. Okay. And tells you how to interact with the crew as well. Cool. And then they have additional forces here. So with each issue, they'll be updating the rules of the models that you have so far. But here you go. I mean, it's pretty detailed there. So that's cool. And then next issue, we're going to get more reinforcements to round out the units. And then we're going to get a Tomb Banshee and another new paint. So cannot wait for that. So yeah, once again, please make sure that you do subscribe, and I'll get to the building and painting and playthroughs very soon. So if you subscribe, you won't miss it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, about the value of the issue, about the content, and about how I'm covering it. And thank you again for watching. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.